And this, one of 5 dual nats that had been locked up under Anthony Hudson. Pretty impressive list. If you look at them, all of them there under the age of 25 as the dual national continues to become a bigger and bigger part of the U.S. program. And Herc, with that in mind, it's time for a top 5. Time to rank the Hudson 5, the dual nats that Anthony Hudson has locked up for the USMNT.
Anthony Hudson.
Now, you refuse to do a top 5 list, so this is Seb's perfect.
Well, it's because it's not Anthony Hudson's, but go ahead.
Sorry, these are the 5 players who have officially committed by playing in a game that ties them to the U.S. under Hudson. Of course, we can give credit for these recruitments to anybody, but that's what we're going here with these 5. Number 1, Folarin Balogun. No doubt about that. Number 2, Timothy Tillman. Number 3, Taylor Booth. Number 4, Johnny Cardoso. And I'm leaving him last. Alejandro or Alex Zendejas. Herc, what do you think of my 5-man list here and the order I put it in?
All right, let me just start at the most obvious one for me. You have Timothy Tillman at number 2.
Yes.
Now, as a player of 24 years of age who's gone backwards in his career, he's essentially been a perennial Bundesliga 2 player. He's had not even a good season, he's had 1 season in the Bundesliga, the majority in Bundesliga 2. And after 20 competitive games for LAFC in league play and CONCACAF Champions League, 2 goals, 2 assists, and you're ready to not only throw him onto the U.S. men's national, but say, hey, also the number 2 most important player in this setup when you have the likes of Taylor Booth, who has been linked with Ajax and PSV. As of late, holds an Italian passport. We could see him in the Serie A, been doing very well in his club in the Eredivisie. You've got Johnny Cardoso, who's doing very well in Brazil, who happens to be maybe the most important player if you think about this in the pool right now, because you don't have a solid backup for Tyler Adams. And then we're gonna go from there. You just left out Zendejas for no apparent reason. Zendejas, this is where it's interesting to me, because Zendejas can actually make a jump and go to Europe, while Timothy Tillman, went from Europe to Major League Soccer. He's going backwards here. Zendejas has actual interest and expressed said interest in playing abroad. He's seen what his teammates, his colleagues at the U17 level did. Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams, Luca De La Torre. He was with those guys. And when you speak to guys like Alejandro Zendejas and a Brandon Vasquez, who were there with those guys, they think of it, they're there. I want to be there. So while one is taking the leap of faith going there, the other one is going to Major League Soccer, and you've capped him at number 2. Right. Now, very good player, sure, but he's proven it at the Major League Soccer level. Go ahead.
Is that it? Herc, what am I if not a prisoner of the moment? We've been watching a ton of LAFC of late, and Tillman has been balling. I think he could fit nicely into the midfield. Here's the reality of that 5.
He started very hot. He started very hot. He did.
Here's the reality of that 5. It's 1 and then the other 4. Balogun is a starter impact. Everybody else is, I don't believe, a starter impact. Zendejas at the end is harsh, but I look at that position. I see Reina, who I know you can move. I see Pulisic. I see Weah. I see a ton of options there that's going to be really tough for him to hack through in terms of starting time. With Tillman and Booth, why I move them up is they just have pure quality. I think in midfield you need some guys with pure quality, so that's why they're at the top of the list. I know Cardoso is of a position of need, Herc, but when I think of Cardoso, if Tyler Adams is healthy, not only are you not starting, you're not playing, because Tyler Adams is going to eat up every single minute that matters. I love Taylor Booth, and I really love Tillman, and I think those type of skilled players that can fit in an 8, which you've got 2 of, they can fit maybe out wide, they can play any number of attacking roles, are very, very useful at the national team level. I like both those guys.
Guess what Timothy Tillman needs to do to be a fringe player on the U.S. men's national team?
What are you going to tell me, go to Europe?
No.
Oh.
Beat out his little brother.
Different positions, right? Different roles.
No, very similar roles. Very similar roles, interiors right there. One is younger, the other one is in Europe. Listen, Tim, you're very prisoner of the moment of you. And listen, you got me in a top 5 with Flo Balogun, and not even talking about Flo Balogun. Think about that for a second. Now, this is easily the most exciting dual nat that's come out since Giuseppe Rossi. That's a reality because of the position, because of what he's already done in Europe, et cetera, et cetera. And we're sitting here talking about Timothy Thielman because you're a prisoner of the moment. Now, I firmly believe, if not because Jose Cifuentes at LAFC is already checked out and going to Rangers himself, like already going to make the jump, he would be behind him. I think Cifuentes is a better player, but he's played and he started out hot in what I would say is mid-level competition in the games that he has played and done well when he started out hot in the beginning, but has cooled as of late. So let's hold your horses, like we're giving Anthony Hudson credit here for these dual nats. Let's hold your horses for a second and just tame the expectations on Tillman. Okay, the Timothy Tillman hype train then put severely in check by Herculez Gomez.